Greetings to all the viewers. Now we entered into the session where the discussion regarding Oxyrain is going to be conducted, and the session is powered by AI. AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. AI powered session it will be, and here the topic is about three-membered heterocyclic ring system called Oxyrain. Oxyrain stands for it is the tricyclic ring. Sorry, it is the kind of three-membered ring with the two carbon atoms and one of the oxygen you can observe over here. So the topic is taken for the day will be oxyrain, right? We are conducting series of heterocyclic compounds in that regard. In that continuation, oxyrain is the today's topic. Today's agenda regarding the entire session will be intro will be provided. What could be the origin for this three-member ring system? How can we define that? And what is the brief intro regarding that to be discussed in this topic number one? And we will discuss about the various methods of synthesis for this oxyrain compound and properties. In general, what could be the physical properties, density parameters, and dipole moment and polarity, solubility, all these aspects will be discussed in the segment called properties and chemical reactivity. So what way these oxyrains will go for their chemical reactivity, the topic is mentioned in this section. And later on, we will conclude the session with the entire applications where we can go for the application point of view, application perspective regarding this oxyrain content, oxyrain concept. Right. This is the way the entire agenda is provided for your better understanding. Let's enter into the introduction regarding this oxyrain, right? The intro regarding the oxyrain alternatively designated as a epoxide. It is also mentioned as a epoxide. Let me give the introduction about this oxyrain. Oxyrains are also called as epoxides. Oxyrains are also known as epoxides are three-membered cyclic ring system where ether will be there. Cyclic ether is existing within the molecule containing oxygen as an heteroatom. Due to their strained ring structure, being three-membered is highly sterically strained one, so that they are highly reactive towards ring opening type of reactions, so that more reactive the compound, that is purely because of high steric strain, high ring strain. Being it is a three-membered with one of the heteroatom, angular strain will be extremely larger, hence the reactivity will be extremely higher. So that versatile intermediates in the organic chemistry can be manufactured starting from this oxyrain as a precursor or starting material. So that oxyrains are taken into the consideration for the day. Let me give the structure and the general characteristics regarding this oxyrain structure. It is a three-membered ring system. Just now we saw two carbon atoms and one of the oxygen allocated within the three-membered ring system. One is oxygen and two are the carbon atoms. Ring strain energy is mentioned as 27 kilocalories per mole. It is extremely larger. That's right. That's a reason why ring strain is larger, hence ring opening reactions are most familiar for this kind of oxygen molecule. Due to the small bond angle, expected bond angle is 109 degrees, but the existing bond angle will be 60 degrees only. That extent the closure proximity among the atoms, which increase the torsional strain, increase the repulsions over the atoms. That is the reason why oxygen is having high reactivity. And here you can observe geometrical isomerism among the isomers of this epoxide. Whenever you are considering di-substituted oxyrains, two alkyl groups, if existing on the same phase, is said to be a cis one, or else two alkyl groups taken into the opposite dimensions, that is called as a trans isomer. In this manner, cis-trans trans isomerism, alternatively designated as a geometrical isomerism existing within these substituted oxygen molecules called epoxides. And here, whenever these three atoms are forming a three-membered ring system, so that what happens, the bending of bonds are possible, so the closer proximity among the atoms, though looks like those bonds looks like a banana. So that banana bond formation you can clearly observe in this NMR appearance of this oxygen molecule. So this is the way structure and general characteristics are mentioned. Epoxides are unusually reactive type of cyclic ethers. They are also mentioned as a cyclic ethers. Ether is the functionality of ROR. Wherever oxygen can be linked up with the two alkyl groups in the two terminal centers, whenever present, that is said to be a ether. This is a kind of ether that are existing in the cyclic manner, so that we can treat them as cyclic ethers. And oxygen, being it is highly electronegative and sterically strained, one ring strain is observed within the molecule. That's the reason why exceptional unusual reactivity is accorded for the molecule ethylene oxide. Epoxide oxirane is alternatively designated as ethylene oxide as well, because of two carbon atoms and one of the oxygen within the molecular skeleton. Epoxide interior bond angle is restricted up to only 60 degrees in comparison to 109. 109 is the expected bond angle for the tetrahedral carbon atoms, but it is shrinked up to 60 degrees only. That's the reason why the molecule is exerting unusual strain within the molecule. Destabilized by the ring strain, here it able to accord the 26.3 kilocalories of ring strain is observed for this molecule. And when attached to the ring, carbon and oxygen bonds are in the cis form. Here, either epoxide is existing towards the viewer or else away from the viewer is possible, but one of the bond towards the viewer, one of the bond away from the viewer practically may not be existed, because ring junction will be the kind of cis, but not the trans one. Such a twisting may not be possible. Either two wedge bonds or else two dotted line bonds are possible, but this kind of twisted, that means twisted in the sense one wedge and another dotted line bond, practically impossible for this kind of epoxide. Hence, always a ring junction of epoxide will be a cis one rather than trans junction formation, right? So this is the way representation in terms of stereochemical aspects is mentioned for epoxide existence. Let me go with the cyclic ether. So it is already mentioned as a cyclic ether compound where oxygen is the part of a ring system. Annular oxygen is existing within the molecule. In the three-membered, we can designate as epoxide. Uh, mm, Also called as oxirane, right? So if we expand the ring size into the four-membered one, you can designate it as a oxetane, being it is a saturated one. So it is taken as a oxetane molecule. And here another five-membered is still an enlargement in the ring size you can notice. And it is the kind called aromatic ring system called furan, five-membered with oxygen as an heteroatom. And another one is said to be a saturated, purely sigma bonded compound. It will be five-membered ring with oxygen heteroatom. Oxalane is the name for the compound. And let me go with the more expansion of the ring. Let me introduce six atoms within the annular system. The name is mentioned as a pyran, where two double bonds are isolated in nature in six-membered ring system, with one of the one of the heteroatom is oxygen. Let me remove all two pi bonds over there and completely saturated one that is mentioned as a oxane. Oxane is the oxygenated six-membered ring system that is purely saturated one. And if you introduce one more oxygen within the six-membered ring system, two oxygens are mentioned over. Dioxane is the name for the compound. It founds profound applications in the field of synthetic organic chemistry. Let me go another segment for these oxiranes called physical properties. How can we measure the physical properties for these oxirane molecules? It is the kind of colorless liquid you can observe within the bottle. It is of colorless one and the liquid form is available. In certain conditions, it also existing in the form of gaseous, being it is the kind of low molecular weight and the less number of atoms containing compounds, so that gaseous or liquid forms are also available, so that we can mention it as a evaporatable. That means a volatile kind of liquid. It will be immediately transformed into a gaseous form as well. Slightly sweet odor is accorded for ether. Ethers are having such a kind of characteristic odor, so that sweet odor is accorded for this epoxide. And already you aware it is of low molecular weight compound and they are miscible with water. Certain extent of polarity will be arised due to the existence of oxygen within the molecule, so that water solubility is possible whenever molecular weight is less. And another possibility will be if we expand the carbon content, if the organic matter will increase that able to dissolve in organic solvents, so that there is a provision to dissolve in the water and organic solvents as well. That depends upon the type of substance which is surrounding that epoxide. Let me go for dipole moment. It already we aware that the compound is said to be a polar one, and polarity is arise due to this oxygen more electronegativity. That's the reason why bonded electrons are pulling towards the oxygen atom, so that arrow is indicated towards the oxygen, and it's a dipole moment. Dipole stands for opposite poles existing within the molecule, that is arise due to the difference in the electronegativity of the oxygen and carbon atoms, which is accorded for this molecule as 1.88 dBi units. Dipole moment accorded for the epoxide will be 1.88 dBi units is mentioned. So this is the way dipole moment calculation is possible, that purely assigned due to the electronegative nature of the oxygen atom, which induce the poles within the molecule. Let me go for the synthetic routes in order to synthesize this oxygen within the laboratory scale and industrial scale as well. A synthesis of oxiranes are taken over. Here I am taking cyclohexene molecule upon chlorination. One of the double bond will be cleaved and giving rise to chloro at the one edge, and water addition giving rise to hydroxyl upon the another edge. This is called chlorohydrin. The molecule whichever generated is called chlorohydrin. Within the same molecule, chloro and hydroxyl are together existing. That is said to be a chlorohydrin molecule. I'm taking the proper molar ratio of chlorine and water molecules, so that monochlorination and monohydroxylation is carried over the olefinic double bond, giving rise to chlorohydrin as the intermediate compound. Further, I may go for the alkaline hydrolysis. Whenever alkaline hydrolysis is accorded, in either chloro is also substituted with hydroxy, so that vicinal dihydroxy will be originated. Vicinal dihydroxy will be highly repulsive in nature, because oxygen both are competing with each other due to the existence of more lone pair of electrons upon the two oxygen atoms. Immediately they will go for the dehydration reaction, giving rise to the kind of epoxide, right? So the compound will be a kind of binuclear system. Here is the cyclohexane, and it is in combination with the epoxide ring system as well, so that generation of epoxy cyclohexane as the expected product. This is possible starting from olefinic double bond. Now let me go for the synthesis of these epoxides or oxiranes by using paracids as the reagents for the synthesis, right? Paracid, I'm taking simplest example, metachloroperbenzoic acid. Whenever metachloroperbenzoic acid taken as a reagent upon reacting with the olefinic double bond, now carbon-carbon double bond will be treated with the metachloroperbenzoic acid, which is most reactive to release the nascent oxygen towards the double bond and giving rise to epoxide bond formation. Let me show I'm taking cyclohexene as a starting material, can be treated with metachloroperbenzoic acid. Benzoic acid is simply C double bond OH. Whenever one of the extra oxygen also introduced within this ring system, oxygen direct linkage always designated as a peroxy linkage, and at the meta position you can locate a chlorofunctional group. This is the way metachloroperbenzoic acid taken as the reagent in order to release the free oxygen. Whenever this nascent oxygen released within the system, olefinic double bond will go for the cyclization in such a manner. Either ether linkage will incline towards the viewer at the top edge, or else at the bottom edge inclined away from the viewer. Both the possibilities we can expect, because it is the kind of scene addition, either top or bottom, both the provisions you can notice for this olefin reaction with metachloroperbenzoic acid. In order to understand how the product of formation is carried starting from this olefinic double bond, let me go with the mechanism of action. Olefinic double bond having electron rich nature among the two carbon atoms, and here you can observe oxygen peroxy linkage is having two oxygen atoms which are competing with each other, having high reactivity towards any kind of reagent in order to release the nascent oxygen, so that lone pair of electrons are having tendency to bind with the olefinic center, so that pi bond is simultaneously moving towards opposite carbon atom wherever oxygen is binding, so that wherever bond delocalization towards the carbon, so that this carbon experiencing electron deficit can be compensated by binding with this oxygen atom, so that here oxygen and carbon bonding is possible. Later on, electron rich carbon atom able to bind up with oxygen by forming a sigma bond over there in this manner. There is a kind of cyclic transition state accorded in order to form this epoxide kind of bond, and oxygen is linked over the olefinic double bond, so that these bonded electrons are back pulled towards the oxygen, and free release of hydrogen is possible in the form of H positive. Whenever bonded electrons are taken by this oxygen atom, simultaneous bonded electrons of in either side will back polarize towards the carbon oxygen, giving rise to carbonylic linkage. Here is the new pi bond is located among the carbon and oxygen, and simultaneously another ketonic functional group whichever present will be polarized in such a manner. Oxygen will retain the negative sign in order to pull this H positive, so that here the entire molecule will be rearranged, and one of the oxygen will be shared with olefinic double bond, and that converted into a epoxide bond later on. Here the new double bond formation you can observe here, already existing oxygen with a green indication, and a newly formed pi bond is indicated with blue color because the electrons between the peroxy linkage are moving over there, that giving rise to a blue color bond. Whatever hydrogen from this oxygen in the form of H positive is moving towards oxygen in the purple color, mentioning that is taking the hydrogen atom in this manner, the carboxylic acid taken as a byproduct, so that epoxide is generated by this metachloroperbenzoic acid oxidation on olefinic double bond. Let me go with another named reaction said to be Sharpless epoxidation. It is the most prominent reaction in the field of epoxide generation, and so many synthetic applications are recorded for this Sharpless epoxidation. Especially, it is the kind of stereo selective aspect for the synthesis of epoxide. Either you want to generate epoxide at endo side or exo side, you can go with the selective selection of the starting material and reagent, so that whatever target you are expecting, that will be synthesized in the stereo selective manner. Because of this kind of excellent work in order to synthesize epoxide, especially in the stereochemistry concern, Sharpless, Barry Sharpless, accorded with the Nobel Prize for this Sharpless epoxidation in the year 2001. And even recently in 2022, again he is accorded with the Nobel Prize, so that he is the scientist accorded with the Nobel Prize. It is the most prestigious twice in his life journey. Right. So let me show how the Sharpless epoxidation is carried over this allylic alcohol. Allylic alcohol is more specific for this Sharpless epoxidation. Whenever double bond is in direct contact with the carbon containing hydroxyl is called allylic alcohol. This allylic alcohol is susceptible to react with the tetraisopropyl titanium. So placid DET will be treated over there, and tertiary butyl hydroperoxide. TBHP stands for tertiary butyl hydrogen peroxide. Whenever these reagents are blended together with the olefinic double bond, allylic double bond, so that the epoxide formation takes place. Already existing alcohol will remain as such, and epoxide will be generated wherever double bond is there. So that epoxy alcohol is the expected product. This is the work done by Sharpless and accorded with the esteemed world recognition called Nobel Prize. Let me go with the mechanism which involved beyond this Sharpless epoxidation. Let me choose olefinic double bond, where double bond is in conjunction with this hydroxyl containing carbon atom, which is said to be what? which is said to be allylic alcohol, right? So this allylic alcohol can be treated with diethyl tartarate. Diethyl tartarate is the kind of ester. There is the provision to choose either negative ACE gamma ACE diethyl tartarate, which is said to be dextrorotatory negative diethyl tartarate, or else positive R gamma R diethyl tartarate, which is mentioned as L positive diethyl tartarate. This is the way diethyl tartarate is the driving force in order to obtain endo or exo epoxide formation. So this is the deciding factor in order to achieve the stereoselective product within this reaction mechanism, right? So here negatively signed, that means a levorotatory diethyl tartarate can approach this olefinic double bond from the top edge, which is called a C phase, and a positive diethyl tartarate, that is a dextro diethyl tartarate, will reach the olefinic double bond from the bottom phase. So below phase it will approach, that is called a rephase, right? So this is the way the approach will decide the epoxide formation. Diethyl tartarate, if coming from the top edge in the form of blue color, that able to generate the oxygen, that generate the epoxide at the topmost region. Exo epoxide is the expected product. Whenever diethyl tartarate, if it is taken in the form of dextrorotatory, that will approach the olefinic double bond from the bottom phase, that giving rise to epoxide at the bottom edge. Endo product formation is possible, and both the provisions are purely depends upon the type of diethyl tartarate what you are choosing. Levorotatory generates exo product. Dextrorotatory generates endo product within this chemical reaction. And this is a pure mechanism where the endo and exo products are generated. This topmost attachment is designated as C phase attachment of diethyl tartarate whenever you are taking ACE absolute configuration of diethyl tartarate. And tetra isopropoxy titanium is the kind of catalyst which used to facilitate the rate of the reaction. And here we are having tertiary butyl peroxide. So this is also important in order to achieve this reaction where nascent oxygen released from this peroxy bond only. Here is the peroxy bond which able to release the oxygen. This is the source of oxygen, and this is the directing compound diethyl tartarate, and the titanium complex will be the kind of catalyst which used to promote the reaction, right? Whenever S absolute configuration containing diethyl tartarate is working over there, that used to induce this oxygen atom from the topmost direction, which is called a C phase addition, we can say. This is a kind of addition only because double bond will convert it into a single bonded compound. So that epoxide formation from the olefin is the addition reaction only, right? Let me go with the R comma R diethyl tartarate. It is the kind of a deciding factor in order to receive nascent oxygen from this peroxyl linkage from the bottom edge. So rephase addition, you can notice bottom edge addition giving rise to endo product. So this exo and the endo epoxide formation purely depends upon the driving force called diethyl tartarate. This is the way stereoselective epoxidation you can achieve by means of this short place epoxidation process. And let me enter into another method of synthesis for these oxidant molecules or epoxide molecules. Halohydrines are the starting materials. Halohydrines are nothing but you may go with the bromo, you may go with the chloro, and hydrine stands for hydroxyl functional group. If any compound having adjacent carbon atoms which resided with one of the carbon any halo functional group and another carbon with hydroxyl, which are said to be halohydrines. Let me go with the specific alpha halohydrines. Alpha halohydrines are supposed to be reacted with the strong base. These basic conditions are used to pull up H positive proton will be taken out by means of the basic conditions. Whenever base able to pull this kind of hydrogen, that able to generate the O negative. O negative is the what negative charge upon the carbon atom. Sorry, on the oxygen atom, where 3 lone pair of electrons will be located upon the oxygen, that able to that able to form a cyclization process, that able to participate in the cyclization by simultaneous removal of this bromo and giving rise to epoxy linkage. Simply it is mentioned as a initial compound will be taken as olefinic double bond only. You may go with the restricted addition of bromine and water molecules whenever bromine and water added in the calculated amount only, but not in the excess quantity, so that one of the carbon is attached with the bromo and either carbon attached with the hydroxyl. And in this halohydrin compound, simultaneous addition of alkaline base required to give the epoxide as the expected product. This is the way base catalyzed epoxidation is carried starting from halohydrins. Let me go with the base promoted cyclization of halohydrins, whatever we saw just now. The entire mechanism you can understand by using this slide. So mechanism behind this halohydrin to epoxide formation is clearly manifested over here. Double bond whenever treated with the halogen and water molecule, one of the edge of the carbon will be binded with the hydroxyl. In either edge carbon or terminal carbon will be binded with the halo. So when this kind of halohydrin is originated, next step you are supposed to add the alkaline medium. The base used to pull up the H positive whenever hydrogen taken. H positive will be taken from towards this base. Strong base having more tendency to remove this H positive from the hydroxide. Here the formation of oxide. Oxide used to cyclize and the epoxide formation is possible. That is again mentioned in this slide as well. By dehydrohalogenation. Dehydrohalogenation stands for what? If we are having such a kind of vicinal dihalide compound, alcoholic KOH having natural tendency to remove H positive from one of the carbon and X negative from another carbon, giving rise to olefinic double bond. In the another step, again base is required to remove H positive and X minus, giving rise to alkyne. So this is the way vicinal dihalides by dehydrohalogenation giving rise to alkyne as the expected product. But from this olefinic double bond, it is possible to go for the peroxide addition. Addition of the peroxide linkage, peroxide compound is possible. Whenever peroxy acid is added, this olefinic double bond will go with the epoxide formation as well. So this is also possible with the cyclic compound, cyclic olefins as well. And let's find the physical properties of the oxiranes. Till now, we gone through various methods of oxirane synthesis or epoxide synthesis. Now we are going to discuss about the physical properties. What are the compulsory properties which are recorded for this oxirane molecule? Boiling and melting points are manifested over here. Oxiranes have relatively low boiling point values because of the very shorter one and high tendency to gasify the molecule, so that they are highly volatile in nature. So boiling point values are extremely low. And compared to another ethers, these are having extremely low boiling point values. And though the molecule is of open chain and cyclic one is having lower boiling point in comparison to the open ethers. Though molecular weight is resembling with each other, but the thing is, cyclic ethers are having low boiling point in comparison to the open ether molecules. That is purely because of ring strain. They could open the ring by cleavage of that ring system and immediately volatile, immediately vaporized, so that boiling points are extremely lower for the cyclic epoxides. Ethylene oxide said to be oxirane, having the boiling point of 10.7. At the 10 degrees centigrade only, it will be turned into a gaseous one, so that at the room temperature, generally they are gaseous in nature, right? Always we are not, it is not possible to maintain 10 degrees centigrade as a room temperature. That's the reason why at the room temperature conditions, oxirane existing in the form of gaseous one only. Under pressurized conditions, it may be liquefied, but generally gaseous one only. And melting is possible. Solid to liquefaction is possible at the temperature of minus 112 degrees centigrade. Extreme cryogenic conditions are applied, then only it able to exist in the form of solid, right? So this is the way melting and boiling points are recorded. 10.7 degrees Celsius is the kind of boiling point. Minus 112 degrees centigrade is the kind of its melting point temperature. Solubility. As you already aware, it is the kind of polar molecule. You already observed the dipole moment due to the electronegative oxygen atom within the molecule, so that there is a polarity. There is a existence of poles over the molecule, so that certain extent of water solubility you can observe. And water solubility is also explained based on the hydrogen bonding, oxygen having natural tendency to form hydrogen bonds with the water molecule, so that water solubility is a common feature for oxygen molecules. And not only water, but also miscible with the organic solvents like alcohol, ethers, and hydrocarbons. Non-polar solvents also able to dissolve this this cyclic ether compound. And in terms of its density, extremely low density, they can associate accompanied by in comparison to the water. Being this is the kind of organic molecule and oxygen containing ether, it will be density will be extremely lower in comparison to the water. Density increases slightly with the molecular weight. As we are raising the molecular weight by increasing the carbon numbers and the size of the molecule, that density is also increased in that extent of manner. And the polarity dipole moment. In the constant of polarity, oxygen electronegative matters for its electronegativity. It will impart the polarity within the molecule. Carbons will experience the slight positive charge in comparison to the oxygen. Oxygen will be allocated by the partial negative charge. This is the way polarity will be raised, and the dipole moment will be calculated as 1.88 dBi units is the value accorded as a dipole moment for oxygen molecule. And extremely smaller in the size, remember ring system with the bending of all the bonds together, shrinking of bond angle is possible. That's the reason why ring strain is exceptional. 27 kilocalories per mole extent of ring strain you can notice for this oxygen molecule that is susceptible for nucleophilic reactions and high chemical reactivity. Let me go with another segment of this oxygen called chemical reactivity. Let me explain the chemical reactivity of oxygens or epoxide molecules. Ring opening reactions. Because of high steric strain in the ring strain, the molecule is susceptible to go for the ring opening reactions. Remember, rings are highly reactive towards the nucleophilic reagents. Whenever acid is added over here, I'm going to add the hydrochloric acid upon this epoxide that able to cleave the bond, and one edge of the oxygen added with hydrogen. Carbon will be linked with the chlorine, so that chlorohydrin is the expected product. Let me show in general, I'm showing this HX. HX stands for any halide you can replace with, and dissolving in the ether solvent. Here epoxide is able to open up the ring, and one of the oxygen bonded to the hydrogen, so that hydroxyl, another edge is added to the, another carbon atom is added to the halide in the trans manner. Hydroxyl is coming up and halide will be a bottom side addition. This is said to be a halohydrin. In specific trans addition will be a mechanism. If we go with the specific mechanism for this kind of reaction, epoxide having natural tendency to absorb the H positive from the acid because of oxygen lone pair of electrons, it will pull the H positive. Whenever H positive taken by the oxygen, that able to generate the oxonium ion, because a new bond formation giving rise to electronegativity over the oxygen, positive charges are located. This is the case having strong tendency to cleave the bond in between the carbon and oxygen, and bonded electrons are strongly pulled towards the oxygen. Whenever bonded electrons are moving towards the oxygen, carbon electron deficit arises. The deficient carbon atom having alternative bond formation with the bromide, so that here bromo will be attached from the bottom phase and giving rise to a trans addition of halohydrin. And let me go for the another reaction pathway. Reaction, the nucleophiles under neutral or basic medium. Basic conditions are applied over, right? Whenever epoxide is supposed to be reacted with the nucleophile, that nucleophile is attached. Nucleophile stands for what? Electron-rich substance having tendency to give the electrons. That is the nature of the nucleophile. So that obviously we have to back polarize the bonded electrons towards the oxygen within the ring system, so that ring departure you can notice whenever bonded electrons are moving towards the oxygen atom, oxygen experiences the negative sign and the carbon having positive charge. The deficit carbon atom will specifically bind up with the nucleophile over there and giving rise to O negative. This is the oxide formed nucleophile attached to the terminal of the carbon atom. Later on, let me hydrolyze with the water molecule so that protonation of oxide giving rise to hydroxide, terminal hydroxide will be originated. This is the way any nucleophile you're talking about, all the nucleophiles having same provision of addition and giving rise to nucleophile substituted hydroxy compound, that will be the open chain molecule, and this is more susceptible nucleophilic addition reaction simultaneous ring cleavage, right? So I'm taking simplest example. Nucleophile will be electron rich nitrile. Nitrile having tendency to bind with the carbon, and the bonded electrons are shifting towards the oxygen. There is a formation of thionyl-oxide. One edge nitrile will be there, another edge oxide will be there. Later on, protonation with the water molecule generates hydroxide over there. So hydroxy substituted nitrile will be originated. Let me give another nucleophile, that is methoxide. Sodium methoxide is a strong base. At the same time, it is the nucleophile as well. This methoxide having provision to bind with the carbon atom, and oxygen will be taking the electrons which are present in between the carbon and oxygen. So that ring opening will be accompanied, and O negative and A positive sodium oxide will be generated. That will be further protonated by means of water addition, giving rise to hydroxide at the top phase, methoxy at the bottom phase. This is the way trans addition of the nucleophile is possible, giving rise to hydroxy, nucleophile hydroxy at the two terminal carbon atoms. Let me go with the addition with water molecule. Whenever epoxide is added with the water molecule, you can observe glycol type of molecule, and in specific the orientation of the hydroxyl will be opposite with respect to each other. One of the hydroxyl at the bottom, another hydroxyl at the top, which is called a trans addition, and giving rise to a 1,2-diol compound. So either acid or base are sufficient to catalyze this hydroxylation process and glycol formation starting from this epoxide. So hydrolysis giving rise to always trans product with respect to this epoxide. Let me show the mechanism involved in this hydroxylation or water addition towards this epoxide. Whenever epoxide is added with water under acidified conditions, let me catalyze the reaction by acidic medium. So that water, whenever added over there, that able to protonate this oxygen first. Whenever oxygen protonated, you can achieve a positive charge over there, and that having strong tendency to backpull these bonded electrons towards the oxygen to satisfy the positive charge upon the oxygen atom. Whenever the electrons are moving towards the oxygen, this carbon electron deficit, that electron deficient carbon will be originated. Electron deficient carbon having another alternative reaction where water molecule with the lone pair of electrons is approaching in the opposite direction with respect to existing oxonium. So that from the bottom phase, water is occupying this carbon atom, so that again another oxonium ion will be generated. Whatever bonded electrons when moving towards oxygen, retention of the lone pair of electrons and the oxygen giving rise to hydroxyl on the topmost position. And whatever oxonium generated at the bottom phase will be again added with the water. Water able to accept one of the H plus, because initially we gave the H plus, right? We need to retain that again, so that H positive will be retained by the water molecule, and ultimately that turned into a oxonium ion, and whichever generated after the deprotonation process will be hydroxyl again, that is occupying the bottom phase, so that you can observe the stereochemistry, and both the locations are anti with respect to each other, so that trans alkenes hydroxy dihydroxy compound will be generated. You can designate it as a ethylene glycol, or else you can designate it as a 1,2-diol, or else a dihydroxy compound it will be. This is the way hydrolysis will be accompanied for oxirane compounds, either catalyzed by acid or base. Let me show the examples pertaining to hydrolysis of epoxides or oxiranes. Whenever oxirane is treated with water under acidified conditions, that giving rise to transhydroxyl compound like this, which is called a vicinal diol, hydroxyl occupying two adjacent carbon atoms, and it is also designated as a glycol, right? Whenever hydroxyl and the two adjacent carbon atoms, that is called a glycol. Let me go with the cyclohexane containing the epoxide that added with the water molecule. Again, acid is a driving force as a catalyst used to fasten the rate of the reaction and giving rise to hydroxyl. If you observe the location of the hydroxyl groups, already methyl is existing over there. That methyl is occupying the wedge bond. And one of the hydroxyl is indicated with the wedge and either hydroxyl with the dotted. This indicates it is the trans addition. Always epoxide hydroxylation or epoxide water addition will be the trans addition, that giving rise to again glycol. Let me go with the open comparison between the cyclic ether and the open chain ether. Whenever open chain ether is supposed to be reacted with the water, that is again hydration process. In specific, we can mention it as hydration. Addition of water is called hydration. So that hydration of the ether bond giving rise to 2 moles of alcohols. Two alcohols will be originated. This reaction is distinctive with respect to a cyclic ether. Cyclic ether is able to generate a vicinal dihydroxy compound called glycol, whereas ether open chain molecule will proceed for the 2 moles of alcohol formation by the rupture of bond between the oxygen and carbon atoms. Now let me go for reactivity towards alcohols. Whenever epoxide treated with alcohol, ROH having the nucleophile within the molecule, where RO minus is a nucleophile, H positive will be the electrophile. So nucleophile will attach to one of the carbon and oxygen will retain this hydrogen, so that wherever hydrogen is retained, that is converted into hydroxyl. Wherever alkoxy, RO minus is said to be what? Alkoxide. That alkoxide will bind up with another carbon atom, giving rise to here alkoxy bond. Hemiacetal formation is possible. This OH and one of the carbon OR in another carbon is said to be hemiacetal. This is the way. The wedge bond hydroxyl and the dotted line bond OR will be originated. Again, addition of this alcohol is a trans mano, giving rise to opposite addition, anti-addition of a substance over there. Let me go with the addition of hydrochloric acid upon this epoxy bond. Let me fragment first. Later on, we will go for the addition. The way of addition we can observe. So whenever hydrochloric acid was taken into consideration, there is obvious negative charge is accorded for the chloro and a positive charge for the hydrogen. So that hydrogen will attach to the oxygen atom, giving rise to hydroxyl, and another edge will be occupied by this nucleophile chloride and giving rise to trans addition product. You can notice chloro is inclined back at hydroxyl towards a VR. Let me give a tabular form regarding this chemical reactivity of epoxides. Some reactions are clearly mentioned over. NH2 is taken. This is called a mine, primary mine. It will be. A mine is having nucleophilicity due to the existence of lone pair of electrons, so that it having strong tendency to bind with the carbon atom, and simultaneous opening of the ring system is possible, and in either edge of the oxygen will be binded with the proton and giving rise to hydroxyl over there. This is the way nitrogen will be added to one of the carbon, and this oxygen will be pulled with the hydrogen from this amine, giving rise to amino alcohol. The compound generated is mentioned as amino alcohol. RMgX is said to be Grignard reagent simultaneous water hydrolysis is also accompanied over there. Whenever Grignard reagent is added over this molecule, here the nucleophile is R negative. Always metal will be binded to the alkyl will be the negatively signed, so that alkyl group attached to the carbon atom, and MgBr will go towards the oxygen and subsequent hydrolysis giving rise to hydroxyl over there. And this alkyl is a nucleophile attached from this reagent, so that here R group, that means ring, chain elongation will be carried. Extension of the chain length is possible by means of this RMgBr and a ring opening reaction it will be. Let me treat with the organometallic compound, that is that is said to be acetylenic, lithium acetylenic compound, that is called lithium acetylide. Whenever lithium acetylide is added, if you fragment this molecule, Li positive obviously being metals are electropositive, and carbon will be accorded with the negative sign, so that nucleophile will be attached to the carbon and Li will be attached to the oxygen. You have to go for the next step, hydrolysis, and OLi will be transformed into OH. This is the way terminal, this is not terminal, alkynic double alkynic triple bond will be attached at one of the carbon atom, and another carbon wherever oxygen is there, that will be protonated, simply giving rise to hydroxyl. This is the way, acetylenic triple bond will be attached at the carbon, terminal carbon atom of the epoxide. Let me go for the reduction. Simply hydride will be added. Hydride stands for what? H negative, right? Whenever H negative is added, H negative is the nucleophile over here. All these are the category of the nucleophilic adhesion over the epoxide linkage. Whenever nucleophile binds over the carbon atom, subsequent ring opening carried and giving rise to hydroxy at one of the carbon atom. So whenever lithium aluminum hydride is reacting upon this epoxide, hydride working like a nucleophile that will be attached to the carbon atom, you can observe this hydrogen in the form of hydride, which is coming from lithium aluminum hydride. And another H oxygen whichever present, pulling the hydrogen from this water molecule. From this water, it is taking the H positive and giving rise to hydroxyl finally. And all these nucleophiles are coming at one of the carbon atom. All these protons are coming from the water molecule and they are subsequently transformed into hydroxyl. And all these are the part of what? Nucleophilic addition only. Let me extend the reactivity of this kind of epoxide again, because epoxides are having wide range of applications in the field of synthetic organic chemistry. Simply nucleophile will be attached to carbon and protonation carried from the water molecule towards oxygen, so that hydrogen indicated with the green coming from the water, and this oxygen turned into a hydroxyl, and whatever nucleophile negatively charged electron rich substance will be directly binded with the carbon atom and giving rise to nucleophile substituted, nucleophile added, protonated hydroxyl. So this is the way alpha hydroxy compounds, addition products will be generated. So this is what generalized nucleophilic addition reaction. For that, we have plenty of examples in this slide. You can observe sodium nitrile in this Na positive and Cn negative. This nitrile is the nucleophile over there, so that nitrile will be attached to one of the carbon. From this water, protonation will be carried, so that hydroxy. This is called hydroxycyanides. This is the kind of hydroxycyanides will be originated. And here, if you take sodium ethoxide, it is a strong base and nucleophilic in nature. Ethoxide will be the nucleophile over there that will be directly attached to this carbon atom, and proton taken from water molecule given. This is called cyanohydrin. Let me recap. Let me recollect myself. This is called cyanohydrin. If hydroxyl and the adjacent position, cyano at the main position, that is called cyanohydrin, right? Just like a halohydrin, you can designate this molecule as a cyanohydrin. And this is the one where ethoxide taken as a nucleophile and attached to the carbon directly, and water is releasing one of the H plus towards the oxygen, giving rise to hydroxy, so that we can mention it as ethoxyhydrin. And here is the molecule where sodium phenoxide, actually, if oxygen is there, and this is designated as sodium thiophenoxide, right? Sodium thiophenoxide. Thiophenoxide in the sense sulfur is taken as S negative, right? So that sodium thiophenoxide is the compound taken where thiophenoxide is the nucleophile. S negative is the nucleophile over there. S negative will directly bind it to the carbon atom and subsequently protonation of the oxygen, giving rise to thiophenoxyhydrin. The molecule whichever generated addition product it will be. This is said to be addition. All these are kind of addition reactions only. Thiophenoxyhydrin formation is possible. Let me add sodium azide. Sodium azide having natural tendency of Na positive and N3 negative. N3 negative is the nucleophile over there. All the nucleophiles are designated with the red color symbol. And whatever protonating agents are there, they are mentioned with the green color. And epoxide is given with the blue in color, and the two numbers are indicated where the attachment is there, where the linkage is there with the pink color. And that is for the clear understanding of how the nucleophile is attaching over the carbon atom and how the protonation is carried upon the oxygen atom, right? Whenever sodium azide is the reagent, so that azide will be a nucleophile will bind to the carbon, and a protonation of the hydroxyl, so that what we can mention, azide hydride formation is possible. Lithium aluminum hydride, again hydride is the nucleophile over there. That hydride will be bonded to the carbon, and a proton is given from the water, giving rise to hydridohydrin. And this is the Grignard reagent, ethyl magnesium bromide, and subsequent hydrolysis. Ethyl magnesium bromide is the case. Ethyl is the kind of nucleophile will be binded to the carbon in this manner. Ethyl hydrine formation is possible. We can say alkyl hydrine. The molecule generated is called alkyl hydrine. And this is the one organolithium compound. Alkyne is in contact with Li positive. This is the alkyne. Acetylenic bond is there. This is the kind of negatively charged, so that entire acetylenic bond is the nucleophile, and the lithium positive is the electrophile. Nucleophile acetylenic bond will be attached to the carbon atom, and the protonation from the water carried over this oxygen, giving rise to acetylenic hydrine. Sulfuric acid will be treated, and methanol will be the condition added. Methanol acting like a what? Nucleophile over there, so that methoxy will be attached at one of the carbon atom, and oxygen is pulling the H positive from this acid. Acid having natural tendency to release the H positive, right? So that among sulfuric acid and methanol, obviously methanol will be the nucleophilic reagent, and sulfuric acid will be the protonating reagent over there, so that a protonation from the sulfuric acid is possible. You can observe over here, and the methoxy will be coming from methanol, and that is not the solvent, rather it is the nucleophile. So that methoxyhydrin will be the expected product. Let me add HBr, hydrobromic acid. Bromide is obviously a nucleophile, will be attached to one of the carbon in another carbon having oxygen, pulling that H plus, giving rise to addition product bromohydrine. Whatever product generated is called bromohydrine. This is the way nucleophilic addition, always opening of the ring is possible, and the subsequent protonation takes place upon the oxygen, giving rise to addition products in this manner. Everything is more clear. Only the thing we need to understand is nucleophile will attach to the carbon, proton will attach to the oxygen. Nucleophile stands for any substance having more electrons over there, and water acting like a H positive donor and source of H positive, so that proton will be taken from this water molecule. Let me go for the reaction with ammonia and amines. Whenever ammonia is treated over this epoxide, again, ammonia works like a nucleophile, right? Because the lone pair of electrons resided upon the nitrogen atom will bind up at the carbon, and so that ring opening will be accompanied. Whenever ring opening is possible, O is turned into hydroxyl, and this carbon is attached to this amine, that able to generate the aminohydrine. Whatever product formed is called, one terminal is having amino functional group, another terminal is having hydroxyl functional group. This is called aminohydrine, and this aminohydrine, the reaction will not be terminated at this instant. We need to go for further reactivity. Let me add one more epoxide molecule. N number of epoxide taken into the consideration. At this instance, more two hydrogens will be replaced with more two hydrogen molecules in such a manner. Entire ammonia will be alkylated in all three possible dimensions, so that pyramidal geometry will be accorded and giving rise to tertiary amine over there. This is possible whenever excessive quantity of epoxide is added with ammonia, so that here trialkylation is the case you can achieve, you can notice. But 1:1 ratio, stoichiometric ratio of equimolar compounds were taken, whatever the extent of ammonia, same number of moles of epoxide is also added, at that instant the possibility will be only up to hydroxyamine will be generated. Alpha hydroxyamine will be the product, that primary amine will be the product. The reaction will be terminated at this instance only. But whenever epoxide will be available in the excessive quantity, at that instance you can go for polyalkylation in such a manner, giving rise to tertiary amine. Let me go for the reactivity towards the hydrogen addition over this epoxide. How could we achieve this kind of reduction reaction? In the presence of catalyst, lithium aluminum hydride is a strong hydrogenating agent that giving rise to hydride ion, which is the nucleophile, that having strong selectivity towards the binding with the carbon atom, so that hydride along with the electrons moving towards the carbon in order to form a carbon hydrogen bond. Later on, delocalized sigma electrons towards the oxygen accorded with the negative sign. That negative sign compensated with the Li positive counterpart, that is OLI. So OLI will be generated as an intermediate compound. Later on, we have to go for subsequent hydrolysis. Hydrolysis giving rise to one of the proton towards oxygen, so that hydroxide compound will be generated. Simply, epoxide will turn into hydroxy by reduction process, under catalytic reduction process, so that primary alcohols are the expected products with the open chain epoxides. If I'm taking cyclohexane epoxide, so that here secondary alcohols will be originated. This is the way reduction will be accomplished, giving rise to alcohols as the destination products. Let me go for protonation of this epoxide. Whenever protonation is carried, this is acid catalyzed, what we can say, acid catalyzed polymerization. Either polymerization can be facilitated by means of cationic or anionic initiators, so that the reaction will be proceeded to polymerize, so that long chain open ethers will be generated in such a manner, and the n number of ether units will be repeated in this form. And you can clearly observe, I'm taking epoxide, anionic ring opening polymerization will be achieved over there, and the entire mechanism will be proceeded with the negatively charged oxygens, negatively charged species, so that it is the kind of anionic ring opening polymerization, and giving rise to open chain ethers repeated for n number of times. This is designated as a polymerization. Epoxides go for polymerization, and that giving rise to epoxy resins. The polymers generated by epoxides are called epoxy resins. They have the provision to bind like adhesives, right? Let me treat with the RMGX, which is called a Grignard reagent. Organo metal complexes will be added to epoxide, so that that able to release the nucleophile alkyl negatively charged one, which is the nucleophile, that will be attached to one of the carbon atom, and oxygen will be binded to MgBr. So let me show here, the alkyl will be cleaved along with the bonded electron, so that negatively charged alkyl attached to the carbon, simultaneous bond polarization towards the oxygen, so that whenever bonded electrons are shifting towards the oxygen, it will retain the negative sign. Negatively charged oxygen will combine with the MgBr, giving rise to OMgBr. OMgBr formation is possible, and this alkyl will be attached to the carbon atom. Whenever OMgBr is there, O minus MgBr positive, that ionization you can observe. Later on, acid catalyzed hydrolysis will giving a proton from this source. Whenever the protonation of oxide simultaneously, it will be transformed into alcohol. This is the way Grignard addition to the epoxide giving rise to long chain alcohols. Extended alcohols will be generated. Why I am saying of extended alcohol? Alkyl chain will be increased. One of the edge added with alkyl group, right? Another edge oxygen turned into alcohol. That's the reason why alkyl chain will be elongated. That is called extended alcohol formation. Let's go with the next segment of the session called applications of the oxirane. Oxirane, how can we go for the application in the field of research, in the field of industry, in the field of synthesis, in the field of research. So let me show the application perspective of oxiranes. In organic synthesis, they works like a intermediate for synthesizing alcohols, amines, and glycols, right? So alcohols can be synthesized, amines can be synthesized, glycols can be manufactured starting from epoxides. Whenever epoxide was taken and treated with primary amine, there is a provision to add. There is a provision to add this molecule over the epoxide, giving rise to alcohol at the one of the carbon atom in either carbon attached to the amine group, so that here primary amine transformed into a secondary amine. This is said to be what? Beta hydroxyamine. Beta hydroxyamine formation is possible whenever I am adding secondary amine. There is a provision to go for tertiary amine formation. That will go step up reaction. That step up reaction in the sense primary transformed into secondary, secondary turned into a tertiary one. This is called step up reaction. So that amine, whenever added over the epoxide, that one of the carbon will be turned into hydroxyl. Another carbon is added with amine, so that this kind of amines manufacturing is possible by means of this epoxides. let me add hydrogen over this epoxide in the presence of lithium aluminum hydride, that is a strong reducing agent that able to release the hydride towards the carbon atom, and subsequent hydrolysis giving rise to alcohol. Alcohols can be manufactured by the reduction of epoxides. Whenever epoxide is added with the acid catalyzed water molecule, so that whenever water addition, that is called hydration process. Addition of water is called hydration, right? Whenever hydration is carried in the presence of acid catalyst, so that epoxide will be transformed into ethylene glycol, right? Two carbon atoms will be in contact with the hydroxyl functional groups, that is called 1,2 ethane diol formation is possible. And moreover, water addition will be trans addition. One of the hydroxyl is front side, and either hydroxyl will be the back side. This is the way trans glycol will be generated by hydration process of epoxide. Let me go for the another application of this epoxide or oxirane. Sharpless asymmetric epoxidation is most stereoselective reaction over there in order to synthesize this front side. Front side means what? Epoxy alcohol having that epoxide viewing towards the viewer. That means that inclined towards the viewer. This is called exo epoxide bond formation. In order to achieve this one, you need to choose negative, that means D negative diethyl tartarate, right? So here negative sign indicates it is the levorotatory, and D indicates a D line, a line will be there. So here D negative diethyl tartarate will be taken, and that always add the oxygen from the peroxy linkage. This is the tertiary butyl peroxide that used to release the nascent oxygen that having addition from the C phase. If top phase is called designated as a C phase addition. C phase addition always giving rise to exo epoxide formation. And here L positive diethyl tartarate is a another kind of reagent which is naturally occurring one. Always oxygen addition is accompanied by bottom phase addition. It will reach the olefinic double bond from the below phase. Whenever below phase addition is possible, that is called rephase, and rephase is accompanied by the addition at the bottom phase giving rise to epoxide at the back edge. This is called endocyclic epoxide formation. So this is called Sharpless epoxidation, highly stereo, selective in nature. That's the reason why he is accorded with the esteemed global recognized prize called Nobel Prize in the year 2001. In the industry, how can we utilize this epoxides in the field of bulk scale manufacturing or is industrial usage? Industrial scale is nothing. There is a distinctive difference among the laboratory scale application and industrial scale application. Laboratory scale needs only minute quantity of reagents and minute quantity of product formation is possible. Whereas industrial scale is nothing but bulk scale manufacturing, bulk scale applications, bulk scale synthesis is required. That's the reason why in the domain of industries, these epoxides are applied in the polymerization, The materials whichever synthesized are having much more applications, especially epoxy resins are working like adhesives, binding agents, they are glue type of materials, and they are used to provide the shiny surface by coating with them. And they are like a composite materials like ceramics. They're also the kind of blended materials like composites. Those are also manufactured in the field of material chemistry. Also, you can find the impact of this oxirain. Let me show various kind of polymeric substances where the epoxide taken into the part of that polymer, right? So here is the polymer containing epoxide moiety, and here again epoxy moiety will be there, and such kind of open chain molecules also possible. All these are said to be what? Polymers of epoxide, and they may work like either adhesives, coatings, and composite materials as well. Even in the pharmaceuticals, they are impactful medicines. You can notice they having tendency to destroy the fungus, destroy the virus, destroy the cancer, malignant tumor cells can be totally destroyed because of their antifungal, antiviral, and anti-cancer activity respectively. So that it is the potential pharmaceutical drug in order to apply in the field of medical domain. Let me go with the material science application. Whenever epoxides were blended with the long chain molecules of the polymer, so the cross-linking is achieved over there. Whenever such a cross-linked polymers will be generated by means of these epoxide, they used to introduce high strength, unusual toughness will be induced within the material, so that the material chemistry applications will be elevated. Stretching of their applications are possible because of the hardness, toughness which introduced due to the cross linking. Whenever cross linking increases, the material strength will be exponentially enhanced. That is the way material science applications also accorded for these oxiranes, which are also called as epoxides. So this is the kind of epoxy resin you can know about, and it is the kind of alternative towards the natural gum, glue, or any binding material, sticking material. It will be, and the strength of this binding tendency will be extremely large. By this, we entirely completed the session. Hopefully, we concluded in the positive manner, and much information gathered regarding this epoxide or oxiranes and AI powered session. AI helped a lot in order to retrieve the entire information. And hopefully, we gone through the matter, whatever required for the research and also for the preparation in the field of academics, and also for the competitive examination perspective, and for the daily that means a postgraduate and graduate level content. Entire things got mentioned and covered in the comprehensive manner with the suitable examples and mechanism as well. Hopefully the session will very much helpful towards the person who are thirsty about the chemistry, especially organic chemistry. And the this kind of encouragement, this kind of continuous encouragement will give more energy to conduct the sessions in the nearby future, and we will cover the entire spectrum of heterocyclics in coming days, so that you are required to go through or follow the entire session which is related with the heterocyclics, so that we will complete the entire content of the heterocyclic chemistry, because heterocyclics are most vital in every field of nature, industry, and laboratory perspective. So that we concluded for oxiranes for the day. And thank you very much for your patient listening. And this is the session conducted by Dr. Kavita Kotireddy Kota. I'm really thankful towards the viewers, whoever watching this entire session. Thank you very much.